So you're thinking about moving to China, maybe to study, maybe to work, or maybe you're just curious what's it like to actually build a life here. Today's video might just give you some answers. I'm talking with two people who came to China as students and decided to stay. We'll dive into what brought them here, what was it like to settle in, and how they made their jump from student's life to full-time careers. Whether you're dreaming about new opportunities or trying to imagine life after graduation in a totally different country, this conversation is for you. Let's get into it. All right. we go to jiu-jitsu together.
Yeah,
What made you decide to stay in China?
I think it was mainly because of the opportunities I could get here. Yeah, so I think that was the main.
How did you see them?
Well, tempting, to be honest, and because I can speak more than one language. I can speak 4 languages, and also I go to learn
English,
some skills. Yeah, English, Chinese, French, and Arabic.
Arabic, yes.
Yes. So yeah, because of that, also because I did during COVID, I started learning some new skills to help me get into the professional. Because sometimes you study something, but then you just work in another field.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think because of the opportunities. Yeah.
What made you decide to stay in China after finishing your studies?
Okay, so I'm coming from Kryvyi Rog, yeah, it's in Ukraine, it's a well-developed city. So after graduating from university, you have 2 options. You're staying in Beijing or you're going back to Kryvyi Rog. What will you choose?
Beijing.
Yeah, that's it.
The choice was simple, okay. Was there a specific moment in your life when you thought to yourself, I can build my life in this country?
I think I've never thought about staying here for forever. Like for a long time, yes, but forever, like to build a life here, to settle down, I've never thought about that.
Why not?
Because I just don't feel stability here.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm on a visa every year, and I need to renew my visa, and because of that, even if everything is going well, deep down I feel like it's there's something missing. Like I'm not gonna be able to, let's say, get married and build my life here, because I will be always worried about what could happen. What if this happened? What if I cannot renew my visa? My family is here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that.
What could happen in theory?
What could happen? In China, they're very strict when it comes to visa and work permit, which means that if you have a job position, you can only do that, and it's very narrow. Like you cannot do something else. And for me, I'm very ambitious, and the more you grow older, the more you wanna get a better job, get a higher salary, even do your own business, and I'm trying to do that. And for me, this will be it's like putting me in a box, So that's why.
So you're saying that every work permit has got a title for the job, and if you do something else outside of this title, it's illegal, right?
Yes.
So you are afraid of trying new things outside of this title of your job,
Yes.
and get caught
Exactly.
and kicked out of the country, right?
And not just that. For me, the main problem is the duration, and the fact that it's really hard to get a permanent residency here, green card. Really hard to get that, So for me, I'm like, I'm the same as someone who just came to China. I've been in China for 6-7 years, and every year I should.
Every year is like a new year, like
exactly,
you just came,
it's a new
right?
year. Yeah, you just came.
Like you just came.
Yeah.
All right. Was there a specific moment or experience in your life when you thought to yourself, I'm gonna build a life here?
Okay, so after my first half of the year staying in China, I started working for one company that was purchasing building materials from China, and I started doing some money. Like that, by that time, as being a student, was amazing money. And slowly I was growing up, like my income was growing up. I think this thing decided my future. I could understand that, well, I can do my life here in China. I can live it.
So you saw opportunities and growth
Exactly.
working here.
Yeah, because at the end, everyone wants to be safe and have some money in their pocket.
Are there any other things that you loved and thought to yourself that you could build a life here?
Well, I like that people could see difference in me as well. Like people from my hometown, they could see that I'm growing not only financially but mentally as well. You're turning into like totally different person. Even some eldest friends, let's say like this, they were asking for some advices, and it gives you this feeling like you're
Of
really
superiority,
enjoying.
of maturity. Okay.
Exactly.
Is it easy to find a job after being a student here in China?
I would say 50-50. I would say like it is not very difficult, but at the same time it's not so easy.
I started working when I was a student. I'm considering myself as a full-time working, even being a student, because I was working hard. And so I couldn't feel this transition from like part-time working and full-time working. It's just once I graduated, I felt much easier for myself because I didn't have to go to the university anymore. I don't have this pressure with exams and everything. So yeah, I started feeling more comfortable, I would say. Yeah.
So transition was really smooth, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What first brought you to China?
I never had any intentions about coming to China because where I come from, it's not the first destination. Because of the distance, usually people go to France, go to Spain, other European countries. Yeah, but for me, I came to China, like days before I came to China, I was going to Ukraine. Yeah, and I was really like getting ready, getting my documents and everything. But then there was a friend of a friend, like I don't know him personally. This guy, he just told me that try China. He was like, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances for you to build a future here. And yeah, so by coincidence, I would put it this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I graduated from the high school, I wanted to go to States because half of my family is living in States, and I applied for a visa, and I got rejected. But you know, I'm coming from a small city, Kryvyi Rog, in Ukraine, so you don't really want to stay there. There's not that many opportunities. So I had a willing like to get out of the country, and well, it was rather States or something else. So I wrote an email to one of the universities in Beijing, and within 2 weeks I got a reply like, you're welcome, come to China. So I told my parents, look, I'm leaving to China in August. They were like, wow, that was fast. Yeah, that's what brought me to China.
What were your expectations before you came to China, and how did reality compare?
Funny you asked. One of the expectations I had before coming was that I thought that people are gonna be doing kung fu in the street. Like it's a normal thing.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, and like I was looking for people like going outside and look, but I couldn't see anybody doing it. It might seem as a joke, but like really, I was that into Bruce Lee movies, Jackie Chan. So I was like, oh, I'm coming to that world, you know. But yeah, different. When I came here, I saw different things. But of course, some of the expectations I had, like the country, how modern, how civilized, the economy. Yeah, so.
I was amazed of how China looks like, because in my opinion, it should be like really, in Chinese it's low ho, like really somewhere low. But by that time, it was 2005. It was already quite developed place to live. Yeah.
Was it always your plan to stay longer, or that decision came later?
Definitely later. Yeah. First, I wasn't planning to. I first came here, as I told you, to study, to do my master degree, and then I've never really like planned to stay here longer. So like, of course, the decision came with time, and I'm someone who believes in destiny, and at the same time, I think that wherever I can grow as a person, I can find opportunities, I'll go. Like I don't have this attachment to locations.
So when I first stayed here, I was studying in the university, and after 2 months, I was calling my parents and telling them like, look, I want to go back home. I don't like it here. It's too hard. I don't know. I can explain my mood why I wanted to leave, but so they said, okay, if you're willing to go back home, you're always welcome. And for the winter holidays, I went back home for 1 month. But after 1 week of staying home, I'm like, no, I'm going back to China. I like that place. Like, it was really nice. So that's the expectations. And so now I'm here in China already for 20 years. Well, it's 19, but 20 years will be on 28th of August.
How has your daily life changed compared to life back home?
I would say 360 degrees. I give you an example. Like we have this habit as Moroccans. We chill in coffee shops a lot. Like that's the place where people usually hang out after work. Whereas here, people have their own plans, and there are a lot of other options that you can do, and especially sports. I used to do sports back home, but not that persistent, you know. So when I came here, I was more into sports. I was more kind of influenced by the environment, because when you see people around you doing things, you also get that feeling of you wanna be active, you know. So yeah, I would say right now I'm living a different life than like 10 years ago.
How has your daily life changed comparing to life back home?
Well, let's say like this. At the first months, I was concentrated more on like education, on studying, and for hang out with some new friends. Yeah, because after living in a small circle of Slavic people, coming to Beijing, you were surrounded by like all the nations around the world. It was interesting for me, like in terms of like learning new languages, having some new connections, whatever. And yeah, so first few months it was more about studying and partying, but then I realized that there's so many opportunities in China you can do. Like you can work. Can you imagine by that time just doing a kindergarten teacher? For 40 minutes you would be paid like 1,500 RMB. It's amazing.
That's
like,
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot even for nowadays.
Comparing
that's
to
a lot.
what they pay back home in Ukraine, or
Yeah, well, compared to what they pay in Ukraine and compared to what they're paying now, right? For 40 minutes, it's still like even in any country, can you imagine $200 for 40 minutes? That's huge, right? And then slowly I was looking for some job opportunities as well, because I wanted to stay here, and to stay here you need something to live on. Yeah, so I started working honestly on the second half year staying in China.
what aspects of Chinese culture do you connect with most?
Look, I love Chinese philosophy. I haven't read much about it, but I really, whenever I come across like a quote or something about the old Chinese philosophers, I really love the way they were thinking about life and how simple life it is. You know, like that really touches me, because I feel like in this world we live in right now, full of stress, full of anxiousness, you need to relax and you need to think about why are we here. You know, like, okay, we are here for a reason, but at the same time we should connect with our bodies, connect with our minds. You know, like,
Our tea.
exactly. Yes, like this really marks me, and I hope in the future to read more about it. And I would say also the Chinese culture, like when it comes to the old the old music. Sometimes I come across some music that is old, and I'm like, oh, this is really, like, I would listen to this, you know, like in the morning, very relaxing. When it comes to the language, when it comes to when I see the Chinese characters, which I started to learn, but it's still very hard for me. But I still find it very interesting. Sometimes I see those explanations of what is how the first people who created the language, how they could think about this character, why it's like this exactly, those drawings. So it's very interesting.
If you think that this video is interesting and you want to learn more about being an international student in China, please check out this video where I talk to 5 different people from 5 different countries. The link is going to be in the description as well. What aspects of Chinese culture do you connect with most?
Honestly,
Honestly.
nothing.
All right, good enough. Are there any local habits or tradition that you have adopted in your life?
Oh yeah. For example, eating a lot of rice. Like I can tell you that the rice I've eaten in China is more than the rice I've eaten my whole life. Like, and it's something that is different. The difference of culture, of course. Like Chinese people eat a lot of rice, noodles.
Do you eat rice with every meal?
Not with every meal, but
Every day?
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's like a habit. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this is one of the things. Also, drinking hot water, although I still don't really like it.
Do you know the joke about hot water, right?
Yeah, when you get sick.
Yeah, when you get sick, drink hot water.
Exactly.
When you feel sad, drink hot water.
Yes.
When you're broke,
yes,
drink hot water.
anything. Yeah. That's
when
the
you
cure.
break up.
That's the cure for everything in China, right?
Yes, one thing I adopted and I like it really well.
Which one?
So it's food time, yeah? Like eating time.
Eating time,
I'm
yeah.
eating in the morning, in the afternoon, like 11:30, don't call me. I'm eating.
11:30 is your lunchtime, right?
Yeah, it's my lunchtime.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah, so everyone knows it. And starting 2017, now I'm having a day nap. So I'm sleeping around like from 1 till 2. I like it. I'm waking up now, same early as most of local people. I'm waking up at 5:30. So now
That's
I
early.
understand. By 11:30, you are already hungry. Yeah, it's 6 hours past.
What kind of work do you do now and how did you get started?
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'll tell you step by step what I was doing in China. So at the beginning, as I said, I was working as a purchase manager for screws. Then when my previous boss decided not to grow his business anymore, I got kind of cracked. I had a wife and a kid and like what to do next. I was doing some part-time jobs. Then one of my friends offered me a job as a technical engineer at the door factory. And I was working there for a few years, designing entrance doors and selling them mostly to CIS countries. But at the same time, I was curious about how much would I cost as an employee if I just lose this job randomly and I'll need to apply without help of any friends. So I sent CV on to different HRs and got an offer from one foreign company that were dealing with chemicals. And well, I applied for this job and I got it. It was good. It was a good experience, nice team, nice company. But at the same time as well, I was working, and they knew it. I was working as an engineer at another company in Nanjing that were making paintbrushes, and I was selling paintbrushes. Then slowly in 2020, I decided that with all the connections I have in China and outside of China, the whole of the world, I can do this business on my own. So I started doing it on my own since 2020, like selling chemical raw materials.
I'm a software designer in education, which means I design platforms and apps where the teachers teach, the teachers use them to teach, and also the kids use them to do their homeworks. They have some fun games and like interactive, kind of an interactive platform. and I work in a company that deals with schools. They also own some schools.
They sell that software to schools, right?
They sell
Okay.
it, they kind of rent it, and not just
subscription based, yeah?
yeah, and
Okay.
also they do the maintenance.
Okay. Would you say that there are more opportunities for you here comparing to Ukraine?
It's just different. One of my best friends, who's in Ukraine, for now he's having the largest entrance door factory in the Europe.
Where do they produce?
In Dnipro, you can do business, you can do things in every part of the world. You just need to understand how to do it.
Would you say that there are more opportunities for foreigners comparing to your home country?
Sure thing, yeah, of course. Definitely China is one of the
What
the
makes you
second
say
biggest
that? Yeah,
economy.
why?
Because of the economy, like it's one of the biggest economies in the world. I think the second, maybe it's gonna be the first
Right.
soon. Yeah, because of that and because of what I see here, there are a lot of opportunities here, and in different fields, different. So, if somebody wanna do trading, it's the best place to do trading. You know.
How is the work-life balance for you?
I'm trying to have this balance. So I'm working 24 hours per day, 365 days, but same time I'm having rest 24 hours per day, 365 days per year. What I want to say is like I love my family. So my family, my friends, if I have to spend time with them, okay, goodbye, or I don't fuck off to my work, I'm not working. I'm having things with my family, and for sure I have time for myself as well, for sports, for some interests. Otherwise, what are we working for, right? If you don't have time for all of these things.
My work-life balance is perfect. You know, me and you, we do jiu-jitsu, and I play chess sometimes. I have a lot of hobbies. I don't want to get into everything.
Let's give percentage, like
Yeah.
50-50 or
Well,
60,
I try
40.
to do 50-50. But then sometimes I wish there is more than 24 hours.
Okay,
know,
do you work
like
weekends?
Sometimes.
Do you work evenings?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Do you feel rested, like mentally? Do you feel
Mentally, yes. Physically, not much. Because, yeah, I sleep late, I don't have enough rest.
If you feel rested mentally, that's the most important.
Yeah,
mental
yeah,
health
yeah.
is the
and,
most
and
important.
I
right?
and I feel that's because of the work balance,
Yeah.
life-work balance equation. You know, like.
Guys, if you appreciate my work, please like and subscribe. On my channel, I talk about my expat life, about China, about teaching, about working here, about traveling, going back home to Russia every summer where I have a boat and many cool places to show you. Please, let's enjoy the ride together. What have been some of the biggest challenges living in China long term?
Well, I would say at the beginning, when you just come to China, it's a culture shock. Like you see how people live here, you see another, like a very different environment than you've been raised. For example, the language, because as I told you earlier, people in my country tend to go to Europe. And usually when you hear European languages, you know, like French, like Spanish, it's kind of, you know, few words. Even if you cannot speak the language, but like you are like, oh, okay, I can fit in, it's easy for me to. Here in China, you, as Chinese people say, 听不懂, like you don't know what people are talking about. So whenever you want to do something, you find yourself in that's like a really big challenge for you. The more you live here, and the more you're open to the Chinese culture, to the language, it will start to get easy for you.
They will never accept you as a local, yeah, even though you're speaking Chinese. Even though my daughters was born one is in Shanghai, one was born in Nanjing, and they speak fluent Chinese, like native, yeah, for them it's a native language. And they're asking me like, Dad, we're living here, why do they call us Lao Wai? like because they cannot understand. And same for me. But for me as a grown up, I can more or less understand it. That's one thing. Another thing that I won't say I will never accept, but the thing is, I don't like that people don't respect each other here. So, yeah, you know it as well.
Do you mean they don't respect privacy?
They don't respect privacy. Simple example, in the metro, right? You're getting out, people are getting in, nobody let you go first.
Ah, you meant that, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
even on the roads, yeah, when you're driving, nobody cares about the rules.
How did you overcome language barriers or cultural misunderstandings living here?
All right. So it took me about 3 years, like, to understand Chinese fluently, right? Like, to understand them all. And I would separate it into a few sections. Let's say, first, and the easiest part is when you understand with whom you are talking face to face. It's kind of the easiest thing. And when I realized that my language skills came to the, like, I would say higher level, is when you're talking on the phone and you can understand what the guy is telling you, and he can understand what you're telling him. Because, you know, even two Chinese sometimes when they're calling each other, they might not understand each other.
That amazes me still.
Yeah. As for now, I would say this way. It doesn't really matter how good your language skills are, but you can be fluent in all the aspects of language, right? If you're dealing, let's say, with trees, then like your vocabulary is connected with trees, and you will know nothing about shoes. Yeah. So same for me. I can talk about like my work quite fluently. I can talk about like daily life, but if you ask me about something I don't know, I will still be like, I don't know, floating.
What support systems or communities helped you to settle in?
All right. So if you can call your friends a community or a support system, then yeah, I would say that my friends is the community who helped me to stay here.
Local friends or foreign friends?
No, foreign friends.
Foreign
Because
friends.
my first job, I accepted it right when my best friend left from China. And then to stay here, you still need some support. And local people, they will always tell you like, yeah, if you have any problems, call me, I'll help you, like, just tell me. But in fact, when you're having problems, you're calling someone and it's like, yeah, sorry, not today. Like, yeah, maybe next time, this I can solve. So at the end, you are still coming to people who understand you mentally, right? Who are with the same psychology as you. And yeah, like I would say my whole journey in China can exist only because of my friends.
What's your favorite Chinese dish and a place to eat?
Definitely hot pot.
Okay.
I love hot pot.
Spicy?
Not spicy, because I don't want to have diarrhea. But yeah, I sometimes I enjoy having hot pot.
A place to eat around Nanjing?
Hot pot Haidilao is the best. They have the best service, the best food. So
Okay.
yeah.
What's your favorite Chinese dish or place to eat?
Barbecue. I like Chinese barbecue. It's fun. It's always fun.
Street food, yeah?
Yeah, street food. It's always fun. Well, we can talk a lot about hot pot and everything, but it's not fun. Like barbecue is straight there with the culture.
A place to eat? What would you recommend in Nanjing?
In Nanjing, Red Room.
Red Room,
You know why, yeah?
of course.
Well, besides of Red Room, I would say Hema, like the supermarket Hema. That's fresh seafood and
yeah. Well, that's the place where you come and you can choose fresh food like from the market inside, and they cook it for you in
straight
front
away
of you,
for
right?
you.
Yeah. What's the weirdest or funniest cultural experience that you've had here in China?
Yeah. Okay. So this one was I was eating at a local restaurant, and I was eating with the chopsticks, you know. And then in the middle of me eating, I put the chopsticks on the meat, and I was like, I'm just on my phone. I was maybe having a phone call or something, and the owner kept looking at me, like giving me a weird look. I didn't know what's going on. I just came to China at that time. So what happened eventually, like what some people told me, is that it's a big no in China. It means like you don't really like the food, and like the food is like tasteless,
What's the weirdest or the funniest cultural moment you have experienced?
It's always is about the relationships, you know, when you're meeting young people on the street and their arguments, because the lady would always shout on her guy on the street in front of everyone. I think it's the most weird thing I've ever seen. That's it.
If you could sum up your being in China in a phrase or a word, what would that be?
Awesome, inspiring. If I have to put it in a sentence, I would say best time of my life, and also some downsides. Yeah, but I learned to be myself. That's what China taught me, how to be myself. Yeah.
If you could sum up your experience in China in a phrase or a word, what would that be?
I would say one word: opportunity.
I couldn't agree more. I agree, yes. Actually, many people say the same thing. Opportunity, but I also hear comfort. For example, delivery stuff works like...
It's all about if daily life, it's comfort. But who cares about daily life? Yeah, you need to think a bit wider. Yep.
Think for the future, yeah, exactly. What do you do for fun?
Well, I do a lot of activities. I do jiu-jitsu. Right. We do jiu-jitsu together. Yeah, that's something fun, but but it's tough. I also do stand-up comedy. I've started doing stand-up 2 years ago, and yeah, it's also one of the best decisions that I've made in my life.
Do you see yourself living here for all your life?
I was thinking about this question, and honestly, I'm thinking about the question every day. I don't think that I will be able to live here till the end of my life because of different regulations. If they doesn't change, that could be a tricky thing.
Business-wise, or
no,
something else?
just as living. Because officially, after 65 years old, you're not allowed to be employed here. Right. So what are you gonna do next?
Would you be allowed to have your own business after 65?
Yes, you're allowed.
Sorry, was it 60 or 65? Last time I heard it was 60.
I have no idea, honestly.
60, I think it is.
Let's say 60, 65, it doesn't really make a big difference, right? The thing is about the age. Like when we're getting to the age when you cannot really work or do something new, well, I hope that my business will be running well and I can still live here. Yeah, I'd like to.
What do you do for fun?
Meeting with friends. Like for me, friends is the most important people in my life. So having fun with friends, everything that connects with friends, that's for me.
What would you say to someone who is considering moving to China?
I would say it's a really good experience. You wouldn't regret it. Based on my own experience, I've had some of the great memories in my life here in China. And I would say if you know what you're doing, well calculated, you are very focused, you'll really improve as a person, and at the same time, career-wise, professional area, you will also evolve if you are focused.
Any I wish I had known this before moments?
Yeah, I would say Chinese language.
Don't waste your time. Like maybe it's coming with the age. So don't waste your time. That's the most important thing. I was wasting time when I was a student. I could do much more things, but I spent a lot of time in the bars with my friends somewhere.
It's a great thought. It's just a problem of delivering that thought to the minds of the youth.
Maybe
right?
It's just impossible to deliver it, and everyone is making his own decision.
Living in China long term isn't just about adapting. It's about discovering a new way of life, a new version of yourself, and opportunities you might not have expected. If you're thinking about studying here, working here, or staying after graduation, I hope this video gave you some real insight into what that journey can look like. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, share it with someone who is considering the move, and subscribe for more real-life stories from people who have taken the leap. Got questions? Leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts or help you discover your own next step. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.